It is the most famous scream in the history of art. A face without a face. A mouth open in pure terror. A sky the color of blood. And yet the painting itself has been stolen, not once, but twice. This is the story of Edvard Munch's The Scream. And why the world still can't look away. The year is 1892. Edvard Munch is walking along a road overlooking the Oslo fjord with two friends. The sun is setting. Suddenly the sky turns blood red. Munch stops. He leans on the railing, trembling. His friends walk on. Later he writes in his diary. I stood there trembling with anxiety. And I sensed an infinite scream passing through nature. That moment became one of the most recognizable images in the world. But it was not just a landscape. It was a self-portrait of pure existential panic. Munch's life was filled with death and illness. His mother died of tuberculosis when he was 5. His favorite sister Sophie died when he was 14. His father was a strict, deeply religious man who told the children that their mother was watching them from heaven, judging them. Munch himself suffered from anxiety, depression, and later alcoholism. He once said, "From my first breath I felt the presence of fear, anxiety and death." The scream was not an invention. It was a confession. On February 12, 1994, the opening day of the Winter Olympics in Lillehammer, two men walked up to the National Gallery in Oslo. They placed a ladder against the wall, smashed a window, and in less than 1 minute cut the scream from its frame. They left a note. Thanks for the poor security. The painting was worth tens of millions. The thieves demanded a ransom of $1 million. The museum refused. 3 months later, in a dramatic undercover operation involving British and Norwegian police, the painting was recovered undamaged in a hotel south of Oslo. One of the men involved was a former professional footballer named Pal Enger. He later claimed he had simply wanted to prove how easy it was. 10 years later, on August 22, 2004, it happened again. This time in broad daylight. Two masked men with guns walked into the Munch Museum in Oslo. They tore The Scream and another masterpiece, Madonna, from the walls in front of terrified visitors. A bystander photographed them as they ran to a waiting car. The paintings vanished. For 2 years no one knew if they still existed. Rumors spread that the thieves had burned them to destroy evidence. In 2006 the police finally recovered both works, damaged by moisture, but still recognizable. 3 men were convicted. The motive remains unclear to this day. Some say it was connected to an organized crime group. Others believe it was simply about the challenge of stealing the most famous scream in the world. There is not one scream. Munch made several versions in paint, pastel, and print between 1893 and 1910. The most famous ones are now in Oslo and New York. But why does this image still hit us so hard more than 130 years later? Because it is not a person screaming. It is the scream of nature itself. It is the moment when the world becomes too much. When anxiety has no face and no name, only a wide-open mouth and hands pressed to the ears. In the 21st century the scream has become the emoji of existential dread. It appears on posters, memes, album covers, and protest signs. Munch painted his private panic. And somehow captured the panic of an entire age. Stolen twice. Recovered twice. Damaged, restored, endlessly reproduced. And still the figure stands on that bridge, hands to its face, mouth open in a silent cry that never ends. Edvard Munch once wrote that he painted not what he saw, but what he felt. The scream is the feeling that never left him. And the feeling that, somehow, never left us either. Subscribe if you want the stories paintings never tell themselves.